Welcome to a podcast for nerds, the show where two dudes that met as kids discuss our journey with all things nerdy as well as life, as we are now both in our 30s. I am Dakota.
And I'm Cody.
And yes, you heard it correct. We are both now 30 years old. Hold it up, Cody.
I can't get it.
I don't have a plaque or anything.
Can they see
but-
it? I can't see.
Yeah, Cody is now 30 years old,
Woo! What's up, baby?
and so am I.
We
but
are.
I was 30 on the last episode.
Yeah, we have what? I'm having a stroke. We have entered the next decade.
It's true, we have.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Actually,
Our next decade, at least.
yes. You're right. We entered the next decade a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But I did want to apologize to you guys because it's been a little while. We did episode 1 and then didn't post anything for a while. Me and Dakota talked about maybe just until the holidays are over, at least doing like every other week. And then we missed a week last week. There's just holiday stuff going on. It was like Thanksgiving, and then my birthday was the weekend before that. I was like, spent the whole weekend doing birthday stuff. And
You were
yeah.
even behind on convention review stuff.
Yes, I got behind. Guys, anyone who's watching Youmacon over on Convention Reviews, you'll know that this is the slowest I have ever posted a convention series. And part of that is because I've got other stuff going on, and I don't want to say retired, but I'm not like fully back as Convention Reviews, so I'm still
More casual.
Yeah, I'm casually editing it. I'm not trying to like burn myself out on it, but also holidays, birthday, all of that slowed things down in a major way. So now I'm just trying to, if I can get one out a week, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Especially since the next con's not even till ASIN, kind of drip the videos out a little
Yeah.
bit. But yeah. Anyway.
Also, we should address I am using a different microphone this week, so if things sound different.
Yeah, hopefully this works well. We really like the Blue Yeti that he was using before. We've used Yetis for a long time, but with this 2 microphone setup, for some reason the Yeti seemed to be catching my voice a lot. This mic is actually my brother Chris's, so we've got it set on this box. I know this doesn't look overly professional, but we're just trying to see if this will really work. So this is a test run.
Can't really see my Goku shirt.
Yeah, he purposefully wore this shirt today.
I try to wear
Just for the
things nerdy.
podcast.
It's a podcast for nerds.
Yeah, I just try to wear the same shirt I've been wearing since
I
2017.
think you've worn that shirt every episode that we've been together.
I haven't.
Oh,
Last episode, no.
I think it was
I
is
didn't
it
wear
Boracay?
this. I
Boracay?
didn't.
Is that-
Boracay.
Boracay.
I just like how this shirt fits me. It
Well,
feels
sure.
nice.
Can I feel the material?
I mean, I don't think it's anything special.
It just
but
feels like
it
nice,
just
soft.
it never like it's never. I got it in 2017, and I've gotten shirts after this that like fell apart. Before this, like I almost feel like I could have just bought this
I
not
gotta
that long
say,
ago.
I think you wore that back to Michael's.
Yeah, I did.
Because I remember because it was one of your souvenirs you were real proud of.
Yeah, and I don't know. I like how it fits. It feels
Souvenir.
nice. Actually, in the video, I noticed when I was editing the first Yoma video, in the video where I said I was going to quit making convention videos back in 2018, I was
you
wearing this shirt, and Chris was watching it, and I was wearing this shirt at the time, and he's like, "Bro, nothing has changed. You're like exactly the same person."
Different glasses and a
Yo,
different haircut.
My glasses changed, and my hair's similar still. It was
Similar.
like still colored the same.
Well, when you look at those pictures over there, you got your hair gelled up and spiked.
Yeah,
and
the hair changed in 2017. That was before
you'd be
convention
wearing a
reviews ended.
snapback right now if this was
Yep.
a handful of years back. Do you not like to wear snapbacks anymore, or do you just not have any? I mean,
I still have a couple.
I think I have most of your snapbacks.
I have a couple, like the one I wore to your Halloween party.
Oh yeah, you did wear. I forget what it was.
Me too. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was like a gaming, like SNES or NES, something
okay.
like that. Red. Yeah, it was
Okay.
red on the bottom.
Okay.
At his Halloween party, I don't know if we mentioned this before yet. Chris and I both just tried to dress up as our 2015 selves. So yeah, I was wearing a snapback, but I never wear them nowadays.
I don't either. My hair is a little long now.
Uh-huh.
Snapbacks look a little weird on me with. Long
Oh,
hair.
really? It doesn't work?
I mean, I can make it work, but I
Mm.
don't know. I like my beanie. I even bought summertime beanies.
Oh, really?
No, I like that. I just like the way my hair looks with the beanie.
I see.
It's my
I
trademark.
I don't know what happened to me. I was wearing
I
snapbacks.
don't know what happened to me, man.
I wore them a little bit when I was in the Philippines, and then just less and less over time. It like naturally, like slowly, just phased out.
For me, I think again it boils down to I started growing my hair out, and wearing hats when you're starting to grow your hair out is very awkward
Oh,
because you get to a point to where
Oh,
it fluffs out,
yeah.
then it fluffs out too much, and then you look like a redneck. And not that that's a bad thing.
I mean,
but
I had that. You remember in high school, my hair was long, and I would put hats on sometimes, and it would kind of. My hair never really looked good though in high school. I don't think.
I like when you do it straight, your hair would look.
Oh, I
pretty
thought it
good.
looked a little better when I straightened it. Yeah, but
The problem was in high school is, I don't know if it's still the same, is your hair would look good for a day, but then you, I don't know if you skipped a day showering
no,
sometimes.
that's not. I didn't. My hair is just super annoying, especially when it's long. It will
Ah.
just get oily really fast.
Hmm.
I'll shower, I'll wash it, I'll do everything like you should be doing. I was very hygienic, but my hair wouldn't always look like I was hygienic, especially when the day goes on. Even now.
Well, I think you would also take a shower and then come to school and your hair would still be kind of
Oh
wet,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Sometimes it should be a little bit wet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even now though, like this afternoon or this evening before bed, my hair's probably gonna be a bit oily, like a bit greasy, and it's not even been 24
It
hours.
just must be a genetic thing.
I guess it's really
'Cause
frustrating.
I don't have that issue. I can go days without washing my hair.
I cannot. You will know that I have not washed it the next morning.
In fact, I have to go sometimes. Like I'll shower and sometimes I won't wash my hair because like my hair
Oh,
it frizzes. It doesn't get like as you can tell, it's curly. I haven't brushed it today. I was lazy today.
mm-hmm.
But haven't done any ancestry looks or anything. But I think I've got Celtic blood,
Maybe.
and they were often described as having snake-like hair, not necessarily dreads.
Mm.
But, like my hair often will grow like in a stringy fashion
Hmm.
and very thick locks, and I'm like, ooh,
Like the Loch Ness.
yes, no.
Mm.
But I could be also wrong. I might look at my ancestry and it might be like, you're from China. What?
I doubt it.
I didn't see that one coming.
You never know, but I
Well,
doubt it.
Ariel took it, and she's got African in her DNA.
Does she really?
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
She likes to She likes to make jokes
Mm.
about it. So I won't repeat any. They're not bad, but she likes to
Mhm.
make little like, you can't say that to me.
Oh, I
kind of
understand.
things.
That's funny. I would love to look into that.
But
for
just to
sure.
me, she doesn't do it to any. It's just to me.
Yeah, like an inside joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. So we don't have a topic really today. Well, we kind of do. But before we jump into any of that, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about being 30.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this is the first time we've been together since I turned 30.
And been 30.
Yeah, and this is the first time we've been together in our 30s. Yeah. So I guess what I'm interested in is like, how did you feel turning 30? Like really, we've joked, you said like, oh, it didn't hurt or whatever, but how did you really feel when you turned 30?
I don't know. When actually turning 30, obviously you don't feel it.
Well, right. You feel the
Obviously,
same,
nothing
but
physically happens.
like mentally, was there anything going through your head or?
I think it was more the build up to it.
Mm.
And then like the whole day and maybe even the whole week after that, I was just kind of like, I'm 30. I'm like 3 decades, man.
Yeah, halfway to 60.
And that's the joke at my work because I'm one of the younger people at my work.
Uh-huh.
There's people younger than me at my work, but most of the people at my work are like Gen X.
Oh, I
Gen
see.
X or maybe the gen before.
The boomers.
Not quite. I don't think I have any boomers, but most
Oh.
of them are Gen X, and they're in their late 40s, early 50s. A lot of them.
Is
The-
late 40s Gen X?
I think maybe.
Oh wait, late 40s. Sorry,
Yeah, late.
sorry. I thought
Yeah,
you
they're
said.
in their
I thought you were saying like late 30, early 40 for some reason. My brain.
A couple of them in their 60s. So, but
Okay.
But I joke around like I can't do anything. I'm an old man now. They're like all way older than me, and I'm objectively young.
Yeah, definitely. 30. I think the thing with 30 is it's still young, but it's old young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're young enough. You're young enough that you still got all the energy that you have, but you can't bounce back as easy.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I just feel like with 30 to me, 30 feels like 20, but with responsibility. Like 20 has responsibility, but when you reach your 30s, it's like, okay, you need to know. You've been an adult for a decade now. You need to like know these things more and have your stuff together a little bit more. Like I think there's more expectation on 30s.
I think I get it, but I'm a little bit more panicky. I'm an adult now. You've been doing this for 10 years, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I feel you. I think that's the thing. Like when you're in your 20s, I think there's some forgiveness from older people who are
I'm
like,
only 23. I got time. I
Yeah.
got this. Now I'm 30, and it's like, oh crap, I'm 30. What's my excuse?
exactly. There's no excuse anymore. People are like, you're 30, bro. Like you should have this. You should have this down.
You shouldn't be watching Power Rangers in your underwear on a beanbag chair. What?
No, people do that all ages.
No,
That's a
yeah.
normal thing.
I got 4 seasons of Power Rangers on DVD.
For
I haven't
me,
watched them all yet.
for me, when I wasn't sure how I would feel when I turned 30, really, because I've heard different people say different things. Like some people feel bad, some people don't care, don't feel anything. When I turned 30, I woke up that morning on my birthday in my bed. I was just thinking about it, like, okay, I'm 30. I'm officially 30. Like the build-up's over. I'm here. I've arrived. And I don't know, I felt good. I was surprised and happy about it. I was worried I would be like maybe panic attacky, like, oh my God, I'm halfway to 60. I'm old. But I didn't
Dude,
feel that
we
at
are
all.
halfway to 60.
Yeah. Don't think
But I
too
mean,
hard
30
about
years
that.
is still a long time.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. My life has felt long when I really think about everything I've done.
Well, it's like, continue. I'm sorry.
When I think about everything I've done, and I spent the first, 10, 11 of that at least, if not more, like just like learning how to be a normal person and not really doing anything.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, when you get into a teenager, you're still learning that. You kind of have a little more freedom, but so really, I feel like I'm only really remembering fondly maybe 15 to 20 of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but I just felt like on that morning, I was just looking back at my 20s and I was like, I just feel happy with my 20s. Like, I feel like the things I did were pretty cool. Like, I managed to really follow my convictions and like my goals, even though, like I'm living with my parents again now. You could definitely look at that and be like, bro, you're 30, you're living with your parents again.
That's just the millennial culture.
That's becoming much more normal anyway, but at the same time, I look at everything that I've done and I just feel satisfied, and it makes me excited for the next 10 years. Because I hear a lot of people say that their 30s are better than their 20s.
Oh, yeah, that's what I've
So,
heard.
yeah,
Well,
I'm more excited than anything.
I think part of that's because when you're in your 20s, yeah, they're fun, but you don't know what you're doing.
Exactly.
It's
for
like being
sure.
on a roller coaster and hanging on for dear life.
Yeah.
Your 30s, you're still on a roller coaster, but you got the safety bar down.
Yeah. You kind of,
It's still crazy and wild. You don't know what's going to happen.
but you have an idea now of what to expect, and like,
There's some security there.
and I think you know how to make the most out of situations in life now when you're in your 30s. And from what I've heard, that only gets better. I mean, I have students that I talk to in their 40s and 50s who have told me like every decade has been better. I believe them. I don't think they're just saying it to like cope
Right.
or something, but
Like it just gets better.
Yeah.
That's why it's, and I tell people, and I stress about a lot of things. I worry about, and it's getting better. But people from my parents' generation or our parents' generation, all the time they'll say, I used to worry all the time about things, but then I just stopped. It's like, how do you just stop?
I think you mentioned that on the last
How do you
episode.
just stop worrying about things?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure I'll get to that point, but how do you
Hopefully.
just stop worrying?
Therapy? I don't know.
None of these people got therapy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, that's true. We're in the Midwest. I think there's still a bit of a stigma.
I've gotten therapy, but
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, in the last couple of years, I've gotten a little bit of therapy. I had to stop going because can't afford it. But
Yeah. I think that's the issue for me. I would definitely do therapy. I'm one of those people who feels like I don't need therapy, but I'm also one of those people who realizes that therapy is just a really cool, useful thing. And even though I think maybe I don't need it, maybe I do. Maybe I don't know.
yeah, the little bit that I got, it helped me realize, because I've gone through anger issues, still do, but but it's helped me
That's
realize,
True.
It-
You used to be a little more angry.
Yeah,
I'm
it-
realizing.
and I think a lot of that's with age. I think as I'm getting older, I mean, I still have my moments,
I mean, I used to be an angry boy as
Um,
well. So
but we're the therapist. We were able to trace not the whole route, but a big root of where that comes from. I won't say
Really?
where it
Yeah,
comes
yeah. I
from.
won't.
But we were able to, we were able to kind of. She was like, I think that's where a lot of it comes from.
Hmm.
Is from right here. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, that makes so much sense.
Hmm. Yeah, it's something I would love to do, but it's the money.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now, the lady I went to, she cut me a deal. I'm sure she still would if I did. She was private practice, but
Mm.
she only charged me like $70 per, which is pretty good.
You going in person or
Yeah.
online? I know
Uh,
online therapy is becoming popular.
Yeah, I would still want to do in person. I like
Mm.
doing things in person. It feels more personable to me.
Well, yeah, physically you're there. Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess I don't have anything else to say about turning 30. That's my whole feelings on it, unless there's something else.
Well, no. I tell you, you know what I think might hurt a little more than 30?
40?
31.
Why?
Because I'm like, oh man, now I'm a year into this.
Well, we got a year, almost a year to worry about
It's
that.
true. And now I'm 31, and then it's just gonna keep going.
One thing that
I'm
always
just gonna die.
Well, you could die tomorrow.
That's true.
You could die right now.
Sure hope not.
Yeah. One thing that always bothered me, I don't know if it bothered you as well, being a late birthday, like late in the year,
Mm.
is when I get on the year of my next birthday, I already start to kind of feel that age. Like I was 29, and then when 2022 started, the year when I knew I would turn 30 in November, I already started to feel a little bit like, oh crap, I'm 30. Because this is the year that I turned 30.
Mhm.
Whereas I feel like if my birthday was in like March, I wouldn't really feel that until the next year, like January. Then I'd be like, oh, my birthday is getting close. Did you ever feel that, or am I the only one?
I don't think I felt that too much. For me, it was I've always had the same mindset: is I am the age I am until the day of my birthday.
Right. I mean,
Mm.
yeah.
I mean, I don't care if it's 11:59 on October 23rd.
Right.
I will be 30.
You don't go up to the minute on your birthday? You know what
It's,
time you were
'cause
born?
It's 8 o'clock sometime.
Oh, you don't know the exact minute.
I was like 8 p.m. I'm not waiting 8 p.m.
Oh, you were late in the day.
Yeah, the way my birthday works is my aunt. So I was born on the 24th of October. My aunt, my dad's older sister, was born on the 25th of October, and I was
Ooh.
born 4 hours before midnight.
Oh.
She said I sat there going. It kept getting later and later and later, and she said I was sitting there going, come on midnight, come on midnight, come on midnight. That way we could share a birthday.
Ah.
So now I'm always able to tell my Aunt Tess, happy birthday, Aunt Tess, the day after my birthday.
Easy to remember.
Very easy to remember.
Reminds me of my brother Chris and my nephew who share the same birthday.
Do they?
Yeah, I guess you weren't there. Probably not. It was Chris's birthday party. I don't remember what year, but I remember he had some of his friends over. I guess we were probably just in elementary school then. I don't think you and Chris were really friends at that time.
No, I would
Yeah.
see him at your birthday party. But
Yeah.
he was a couple years below me, so I wouldn't.
So I remember like the night on his birthday, my parents would keep coming up and we'd be like, Is he born yet? Is he born yet? Like Chris was really hoping that our nephew would be born on his birthday.
Oh, I
And
bet
then he
that
was
exciting.
like late in the day, yeah. And Chris was like, this is the best birthday present I could wish
Aw.
for. But now he has to share his birthday. So sucks.
And now he's a little punk. No.
No, I'm just playing. But yeah, I had something else I was gonna say, but I forgot.
And you know what's crazy?
Mm.
We're both 30. We've known each other 2/3 of each other's life now.
Yeah, most of those years.
Literally, we have been in each other's lives, for probably what's 2/3? That's like 60% of our lives.
Well, there was that time you went to that other school.
It was just for a couple of years, but
But
I
then
still
you
came to
came
I
back.
still went to your birthday parties.
Did you?
Yeah, I went to like at least one or two of them.
I really can't remember. I just remember you came back in 8th grade.
I came back in 8th grade, but because I went to your birthday party in 6th grade,
Mm-hmm.
I might have missed 7th grade and 8th grade. It was we still knew each other, and we're
This
friendly,
kid.
but we weren't like talking again until sophomore year.
Yeah, there were.
So I would say we've been a part of each other's lives for 2/3 of 60%. I think is what the math is. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
That's
66.66666666%. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there were some weird years there, though. I don't know if we ever talked about that before, where we were in the same school. Dakota came back, but we weren't not friends, but we weren't.
grown apart.
We were just acquaintances. I feel like at that point,
More or
like
less.
we knew each other, and I remember. I think it was in 8th grade, talking to you on the basketball court. It was definitely 8th grade because it was in the middle school area.
I don't remember a single thing we would have talked
I
about.
have no clue what we would have talked about. I talked to you about something, and then we didn't talk again until like, at least not seriously until like, yeah, sophomore year in that
I remember I tried to get you to listen to country music because I thought it was funny.
in middle school.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't remember. I remember you liking country music.
because I
Yeah.
did. I
Yeah.
don't like it now.
At all?
Well, I like the stuff I liked then,
Oh, right.
and I like old country music.
There's that nostalgia there.
Yeah, and if you listen to old country music, this is getting off topic, but if you listen to like old country music from like the 70s, 80s, even 90s,
Hmm.
that feels like music. Like that feels like the songs are about something.
Hey, you
know-
sound like an old person.
I know, but I at my work they play not modern country out loud a lot. And I'm not kidding when I tell you, to me, it all sounds the exact same.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't comment.
So,
I
and-
really like Rhett's music.
Is he? I haven't listened to it. Is it country?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I
It's
figured it was.
James and the Shame. Rhett from Good Mythical Morning. He put out an album. I listened to the whole album and I really liked it. I don't know if it leans more toward newer country or not.
have
I
to
have
listen
no
to it.
clue, but I just maybe I just liked it because it was Rhett. But I felt like I liked the melodies and I liked his lyrics a lot. His lyrics didn't feel like what I normally associate with country music. They felt very personal to
Because
him.
modern country it's just pop. It's just pop music.
Yeah, I mean, it
It's-
feels kind of poppy-ish. I don't know. You have to listen to
I'll
it.
probably check it.
It's
But he wrote it all himself.
as far as I know, yeah, and it feels really personal.
Okay.
When I think that's one of the things I liked about it. And his wife's on one of the songs, which was
Oh.
cool. I really like that song, but I don't really know a lot outside of that. I've heard some country songs here and there. Every now and then, Spotify will give me one, and I'm like, that's not so bad. But I don't like follow up.
Mhm.
So
It depends on what you're listening to. To me, it's the classics that are the best. You know, your Dolly Partons, your George
Oh.
Jones.
yeah, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's the best to me. But anyway, moving on from that, that was completely off the rails. 30. Here is to 30.
To 30.
To the
Kanpai.
next- Skull.
What is that?
That's Viking.
We're like an otaku podcast, bro. You gotta say kanpai.
I say Skull every time I toast.
Oh, do you actually?
Every time I don't say cheers. I don't say.
Isn't
whatever.
that a little cringy? Like people don't know what it means. Like
No,
what?
I know what it means. I don't
Oh.
care. It's for me. It's not for you.
It just makes me think of. I guess it just makes me think of like a family being together, and there's that one like otaku dude who's like, what did I just say? I literally just said it. Kanpai, and the family's like, what the f?
Nope. I just always say skull. I think it's fun.
Okay. I just feel like I'd be confused, like skulls.
Well, that's why I try to
Sounds
really emphasize
scary.
the owl.
Oh, okay, okay. You don't wanna get it mixed up.
SKAL. Skull.
Okay. So you are the host today. Did you have anything you wanted to talk about?
All right. So, what have you been up to lately, sir? What you been doing? Birthday
living
stuff?
living life, man. 30s, you know. I'm more tired now that I'm in my 30s.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I feel like I've really started to feel it in my back.
Oh, you
The
should get a
last, like,
standing
month.
desk.
I don't sit.
Oh. Oh.
I sit on breaks.
Oh.
I'm usually on my feet all day.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant like when you're sitting, like at home or something.
I mean, yeah, if I'm just sitting watching TV, but I think that's more to do with the chair that I'm in.
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
It doesn't have very good lumbar support.
Mm. Yeah, when you get into your 30s, you start thinking about lumbar.
Dude, I've never thought more about them. And then I went somewhere with my dad the other day in his car, and I don't know how it's possible, but his car has almost too much lumbar support.
You can pull that back, can't you?
No, it was like the seat like comes out like this, and then when you get to the base, it just like blop.
It's like pregnant.
Yeah, it like juts out, and then so you're like forward. I mean, I
You
lean back
really
from the
can't.
mic. Yeah, you couldn't. Like, it wasn't horrible. Like I'm exaggerating a bit, but like it still was like the whole trip that we were just like, I was just kind of like,
I'm surprised you can't. There's not a button to like shrink it.
nah.
Huh.
I wasn't about to ask at least.
I mean, what I've been up to really is just oh, I've been playing some games.
Oh yeah.
I guess outside of anime that we've talked about recently, I'm still watching those same seasonals that are coming out now. I'd say my favorite right now is that's tough. I thought I knew, and then I thought about it for a second, and I'm like, wait, I'm not sure. It's either Bleach or Chainsaw. I really like Gundam.
Mm-hmm.
Gundam is really good, but I mean, anyone watching those three shows knows, like, come on. Like, Bleach is crazy right now, and Chainsaw is just something different. It's really cool, and I think what put Chainsaw on the level of Bleach for me was the newest episode. I won't get into it, but it was anyone who's, I think it's episode 8. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's an episode where things just went crazy
Chainsaw or Bleach?
of Chainsaw.
Okay.
It's like, I don't want to spoil anything, and this is what Chris said to me, and it didn't spoil it. It still shocked me when I watched it, but this new episode of Chainsaw Man is on the levels of Kamina in Gurren Lagann. Like, I'm not saying what happens. That's not a spoiler. It didn't spoil anything for me, but that's a good way to like say how this makes you feel. At
I
least,
still haven't started Chainsaw Man.
yeah, you should. I really, really, really think you should.
I probably will starting next year. It's the holiday time
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah,
And
for
me and
sure.
Ariel, my wife, we always Halloween and Christmas. We usually have to take a break from anything we're watching.
Right. I think it'd be more fun to binge that first half at least of Chainsaw Man. Anyway.
I know you didn't want to get into it too much, but I do want to briefly talk about not the newest episode of Bleach, but we'll talk about Fire. Because we haven't gotten to talk about that since.
Yeah, episode 6 or
It's
7.
actually been. We think we've had at least 2 episodes come out since that episode.
Mhm.
But I just want to know: did you see the twist at the end of that coming? Like you obviously knew it wasn't going to be that easy.
I felt something coming because I didn't know exactly what it would be, but I'm like, this is Dakota's telling me this is going to be like maybe it could possibly get to 50 episodes. We're on episode 6 or 7. And as far as I know, this is the enemies we're fighting now. This is who we're going to be fighting. Maybe some new people will join, but like this can't happen. So I was like, something is going to happen. I didn't know exactly what it would be, but when that twist did happen, I wasn't surprised. I was just mad.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised at all because I'm like, we got to get Ichigo in here anyway. Like, we can't have this happen right now. But I'll say I was mad, but at the same time, I wasn't mad because that episode, Fire, whichever one it is, it's 6, 7, or 8, something like that, was insane. That was like maybe the best episode of Bleach ever. Like, it's up there. It's in the top 5 for me for sure.
Dude, just wait.
They
Just wait.
I thought the budget was high on this new season until this episode came, and I was like, those were the bad budget episodes before. They put it all in this one.
What did you think of his powers?
Crazy. Never expected it to be like that.
And for him to have that many.
I know. Yeah, I didn't expect it. I'll just say the one with the sword tapping things. I won't say any more than that. That
Where it
was
was just the tip.
crazy. Yeah. I was like,
for me, it
I
was
understood
the-
why he never really fought before because
You
it's just-
shouldn't have to rely
he-
on me. One, it was the
well, and he's gonna destroy everything.
yeah.
Yeah, everybody's gonna die.
Oh, and guess what? He's still not even the strongest member of the Gautier that you've ever met.
Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see.
Oh man, I'm telling you, that was the moment I was super looking forward to. It's one of my favorites of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc in the manga.
Mhm. They did it justice for you.
Oh gosh, yes, dude, they did it perfect. Even though I knew the twist was coming, and I'm like, man, to see him finally move doing all that. Seeing it in the manga is one thing, but seeing him finally move and seeing you can almost feel the heat coming from your screen.
Yeah. I just watched it on my phone, and after watching that episode, I felt like I was a little disrespectful watching that on my phone. I should have watched it on a bigger screen,
Go
but
rewatch it.
I could. But credit to this episode, even watching it on the phone, I felt how incredibly good this was. And I felt like I could still see all the detail. It was so well done. Like even on that little screen, it could really shine. But
But let me tell you, you're about to see some stuff with all kinds of, like, of course, Ichigo. You're about to meet some awesome characters.
yeah.
I mean, stuff alone with Kenpachi that you're gonna see.
Okay. I feel like we should move on. I don't
We should.
I don't like
That's-
speaking so vaguely about it.
I'm about to move on.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I wanted to say.
I'm excited about it. Bleach and Chainsaw are really, really good.
Probably
They're
won't
out
talk
there.
about them again though. At least not for a while, because I'm not caught up on Bleach. I'm an episode behind, and I don't necessarily. I know you don't. I don't necessarily want to talk about it weekly. I only want
don't.
to talk about it unless super major things happen.
Yeah,
in the
if it's
show,
exciting.
Which I know the moments that are the major moments, so I'll know when to talk about it because I'm better than you.
Oh, so you're saying we've got a little while.
I need to see the most recent episode.
Oh, you're
Because
right,
if it's
you're
like a 50 episode anime, there's only 9 episodes out right now. We're not even a fifth of the way through.
Right.
So
But
we still got like a year.
also, just a heads up that the holidays are in motion. So I don't know when the next episode will be. We're still hopefully in.
Probably, I think we can probably get another one out. Maybe even next weekend.
I think the next one will come on time, or at
Yeah.
least we could maybe film next weekend and not release it yet. Try
Yeah.
an every other week approach,
Yeah.
but maybe not film it every
As soon
other
as
week.
the holidays are over, we'll be able to be a little bit more normal.
Yes, it's just holiday time.
And Christmas is on a Sunday this year.
Yeah, which is the day we film.
yeah. There's no there is no
What?
way.
You're not coming over on Christmas?
No, dude, you've never had me over. On
I need you
Christmas.
committed to this podcast.
I can't.
Just playing. But on stuff that I've been doing, I was just trying to get to that Black Friday happened, and I bought some video games.
Okay.
Yeah, so I bought Resident Evil 8. Awesome. Really love it. Because I've been on a Resident Evil kick. I played 7 a couple years ago on stream. Still one of my favorite stream game. Probably my favorite game I ever streamed. It was such a fun time. And then played remake of 2 and remake of 3 just a couple months ago. And then 4 remake got announced, and it's got a bunch of trailers, so I'm really hyped on that. So I went to buy Elden Ring on Black Friday because Elden Ring's on sale on PlayStation and Xbox.
No,
It
I
is
thought it was
not-
on Game Pass. I thought you already had it.
Elden Ring's not on Game Pass.
Oh.
No, I wish. It is not on sale for PC. I was pretty salty. I didn't understand why it's on sale for the consoles and not PC. It was the first moment where I regretted not having a console. But so instead I saw Resident Evil 8 was on sale. So
Okay.
I grabbed that. And then I also grabbed Devil May Cry 5. I grabbed Control. And I grabbed Ghostwire Tokyo. And out of all of those games, the one I've played the most is Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm totally sucked in. I have almost 20 hours in that game. And it's only an 11-hour game. So I'm really doing all the like side stuff because it's just so fun. So do you know anything about Ghostwire Tokyo?
Mm-mm.
So just a really quick idea of what it is. This is still attached to Resident Evil somehow. The guy who originally made Resident Evil is Shinji Mikami, and he left Capcom at some point. I don't know when he left. I wasn't a Resident Evil fan until a couple years ago, guys, so I didn't follow through everything back in the day. But then he made a new company called Tango Gameworks,
Mhm.
and they are with Bethesda. That company made The Evil Within. I don't know if you've heard of The Evil Within.
No.
They did 2. Evil Within 2 is like it's in my top 10 favorite games ever. But then for some reason they decided they wanted to make a game that's not as horror, and that's Ghostwire Tokyo. And it's like what's cool about it is it's almost, not exactly, but it's as close I think as we've ever seen to a 1-to-1 recreation of the Shibuya area of Tokyo.
Okay.
So part of the fun of that game is just walking around and like this abandoned, like destroyed, haunted ghost version of Tokyo. And they throw in all kinds of like Japanese mythology with like the yokai and onis, and there's all kinds of like old stories and things that I didn't know about. Like there were times like I keep stopping and Googling like, what does this mean? And then just going down like reading about the old Japanese mythology of this thing. It's just, I feel like I've learned so much about Japanese culture and things from this game. It's really fun. It's
Cool.
one of those games that was like, I think Metacritic's like a 7. So it's not something that's like crazy outstanding that I'm saying you gotta play it right now. But if you like Japanese stuff, which you might if you're watching this, and you like first person kind of exploration sort of games, then I think you should definitely give it a shot. But
Okay.
yeah,
Um. Well, that's cool. I might. I
that's
might not.
cool.
Uh.
Have you played any of the games that I mentioned? Did you play Devil
I've
May
played a
Cry
little.
5 or Control or?
I've played a little bit of Resident Evil 7.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised by that. I know
Uh,
you mentioned you're kind of into horror, more into horror now. I didn't know you're into the horror games or
Not
not.
really. I
Mm.
only own one.
Resident Evil 7?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Because we were looking for spooky games to play during Halloween. And I was like, all right, what do we got? We've got Resident Evil 7. And I was like, okay, and
Yeah.
Last of Us. And then I was like,
Uh,
I think I told you. I haven't told you.
that you beat it. You told me.
Okay, did I say it on the show?
I think so.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I did because I did tell you that I started the game and I was literally
Yeah.
on the last 2 levels.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's kind of horror-ish.
I don't really count it as horror.
Has elements.
Yes, it's horror adjacent. I feel like.
It's not. It has scary moments. It has suspenseful.
If you're a
moments.
person who hates horror, I guess maybe I wouldn't recommend it to you. But if you're a person who loves horror, I also wouldn't recommend it to you as a horror game. I would just recommend it to you as someone who likes good narratives and good video games.
um,
But you should play if you're ever looking for a horror game. Evil Within 2, I
Within.
highly Evil Within 2.
2. Do I need to play 1?
Kind of. I would recommend just watching a synopsis on Google or on YouTube because Evil Within 1 is hard. It's a really hard game, even when you put it on easy, and it's really I don't know. I love it. I think it's good, but as someone who loves it, I've never finished it. I'll say that. And I finished Evil Within 2 3 times, I think. So I really recommend just go to 2. And it's not first person. I know you prefer not first person, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. It's not first
Oh,
person.
okay.
It's just a great, really, really great game.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll check. I've thought about checking out with Evil Within. I just don't. I don't have a lot of video game money these days.
It's probably cheap now. Evil Within 2, that was a few years back, 2018 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about what I've been up to.
Oh, there is one other thing I was playing, but we can talk about that.
Yeah, yeah. I want to talk more
Yeah.
in depth about that
Mm,
because I'm playing that too.
yeah.
Um,
Oh.
I
Sorry.
What?
Go ahead. Go ahead. I just totally forgot that I'm reading a bunch of manga as well, but it's okay.
Oh, we can do that in a minute.
Yeah, we can come back to that. What have you
Um,
been playing?
I've only been playing one thing. I haven't been. What I've been doing though is Friday. It's Sunday for us, but last Friday, what would have been the 2nd of December.
Mm-hmm.
My manager at my work was able to get me 6 free tickets to go to Jurassic World Live.
What?
Yeah, with the big robot dinosaurs that walk around and everything.
When is it?
I already went.
Oh, when was it?
It was Friday.
Oh, was that?
Yeah, she gave it to me.
Oh.
She gave it to me the day before.
Oh, I see. How
'Cause
was it?
It was pretty cool.
Where downtown? or-
Yeah, just at where the Pacers play. Yeah,
Oh, I don't know where that is.
Conseco.
Oh, I don't know sports.
Yeah.
I've heard the name Conseco.
You've been there before to see
I
shows.
think
haven't
I
you?
have
Sure you
been
have.
there for something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we went to see it, and it was really. We took it was me, my wife, my mom, my
You got that
dad.
many tickets?
Yeah, I got 6 tickets.
Oh my god.
My sister Jada and my little brother Chase, who is 7,
Wow.
and he loved it. I was a hero
I
for the
bet.
night. Yes, and he's one of the. I'm just happy we got out of there, no issues. He's a child who's prone to throwing fits.
I remember him at your
Yes,
birthday.
he's prone to being a bit of a wild child, and I
Mm.
was happy we got out of there. I had to promise him a lightsaber, but we got out of there with no fits.
That's good.
So I have to buy him a lightsaber when I get paid.
He sounds like. I mean, I don't want to say that every little boy is the same. Obviously, every little boy is into different. There's so many things you could be into, but it sounds like me when I was a little boy.
Mm.
If you got dinosaurs and lightsabers, it's a good time.
Well, the thing about the show though was it was weird. Like they advertised it as it was going to be like almost like an animal show, but with like big robot dinosaurs, and they're gonna bring
Right.
them out and talk about them and stuff like that. But they treated it like it was a big play, like it had a plot and a stunt show, which was cool. Like they had people riding around on motorcycles and a jeep riding around.
Was Chris Pratt there?
They mentioned his character.
There wasn't like some guy who kind of looks like Chris Pratt to play him.
No,
Oh, okay.
but like yeah, they had like a plot that like intertwined with the plot of Jurassic World the movie.
In a good way, or
I mean, I guess it was clever.
in a way?
It was in a way, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about a good way. It was there.
Was it in the way?
It was in, nah, not even the way.
Mm.
But yeah, that was cool. They brought out like obviously, you know, you've seen those raptor suits, you know, where you can see the people's legs and everything.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, that was cool. They were really cool. The best part though is at the end they bring out the T-Rex. Man,
It was cool.
that thing is awesome.
Did it breathe fire?
No, but they were part of the show was they had people shooting a flamethrower at it. So
Real
you get-
flame?
Yeah. So
That's scary.
but the funniest part about it is there's a part in the show where it's supposed to like back up into these pipes and cause like an explosion of some kind, and then they all got to get out of the facility, and it messed up because what happened is the T-Rex is backing up towards the pipes, and whoever was driving the thing
Mm-hmm.
must have not seen it because they backed the tail up into it, and I swear the tail went. The tip of the tail, and the rest of the show, the tip of that dinosaur's tail was limp.
No,
Yes.
really?
And then it started walking forward, and then they started talking about the T-Rex backing up and hitting something, and then the explosion. So I'm like, something went wrong here.
Oh.
Something happened. Someone messed up. And then the rest
Someone
of the
was
time,
fired.
Yeah, the rest of the time the T-Rex was out there, me and Ariel were just sitting there going, no, she didn't catch it on video. She caught it right up to the moment it happened, and then I pointed it out, and then it starts walking forward, and you could see its tail is just like, and then it's walking around this really awesome looking dinosaur. Like, it looks darn near real. Like,
Wow.
straight out of the movie real. And the tip of its tail is just,
That's pretty funny.
it was very funny.
How long was it?
It's probably about an hour and a half. They had an intermission.
Mm.
They had this really cool like T-Rex plushie that like was really like almost like realistic
Mhm.
looking, and I was like, oh man, I might get one of those. They were $45.
Of course.
And I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's absolute. I think a ticket to Jurassic World in the movie is probably less than $45.
Yeah, a ticket is like $12.
No, I mean in the movie, like if you lived in that movie world, like a ticket
Oh,
to
yeah.
go. I mean, not including hotel and transportation to get there, but maybe to get into the park,
Well, I don't know.
45 to
Well,
80.
You'd think so, but even Disney prices, they're about $80 for one park.
Yeah, you're right. And this has dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
On
but
an
still, you shouldn't
island.
be paying like half the price of the ticket to see real dinosaurs to buy a plushie.
No, I wouldn't. Plenty of kids did,
I'm sure, because kids don't have any concept of money.
and they just see
They're just like,
dinosaur. You brought me here, and I want to get a souvenir
Yeah.
to remind myself of this. And it's, there's a dinosaur in the toy, and I want a dinosaur in the show. I want the dinosaur to take home with me.
How big was it?
Pretty good size, not that big.
Sounds like $12.
Maybe
$12
20,
size.
25
Okay,
at most.
25, yeah.
25 because it was good quality. It was like
Okay,
really good
25,
quality.
25.
I'd say 25, maybe 30.
I feel like even at cons, they're not charging that much for plushies.
Yeah, it depends on the plushie. The Dragonite I got for Ariel.
Really? I didn't. I don't know how big it was. Hmm. Yeah, it depends with stuff like that.
But he's like laying on his belly and he's got one eye open like he's sleeping, winking.
That's pretty cute.
It's really cute.
I love
I've
Dragonite.
slept with it more than her though, because it's on my side of the bed for whatever reason. I've woken up and like I don't have a pillow to hold, and I'll just reach over and grab it and just start holding it.
That's funny. Was there anything else you've been doing recently?
No, but I wanted to ask you something.
Okay.
So I asked you. I texted you last week asking you if you wanted to go see Avatar.
I almost brought this up. Yeah.
And then I wanted to know,
Is it out?
It's on the 16th.
Oh, it's not out yet.
Yeah, I wondered. You know I'm talking about Blue People Avatar, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And you have no interest anymore?
I have some interest, I guess. I guess it's been too long. So it's weird because Avatar 1,
You need to watch Avatar 1 again.
I've seen it like 4 times.
Watch it again. When was the last time you watched it?
A few years for sure.
It doesn't hurt to watch a
Do I have to
movie.
watch it in 3D?
The new one?
Either one.
Oh, the old one, no. Just watch it here.
I know, but that's what was cool about. I think I've only seen it in 3D. Because I have a 3D TV, so when I watch it again, I watch it on a 3D
I mean,
TV.
if you want, I think I have a 3D DVD.
I don't really want to. I haven't watched it since I got glasses. So that should tell you. Because I
Yeah,
got
I
glasses
think-
when I was 23 and I'm 30 now.
But you're also not. You've never been one to really enjoy rewatching movies a bunch of times.
I mean, I just rewatched Goblet of Fire last night.
Yeah, but one was I guess a couple years ago. But you've also never seen. You haven't even seen that movie near as many times as I have.
Which one?
Goblet.
Oh, probably. Yeah, I'm sure.
Like I rewatch movies like crazy.
You
I
like
always
Goblet
have.
of Fire?
No.
I don't get that. It's I think it's my favorite of the movies. Not my favorite book. Favorite movie though.
That's insane to me.
Why? What do you not like about it?
Everything to do with the Yule Ball.
I love the Yule
Oh
Ball.
man,
I love it.
Okay,
dude.
I won't get into
Wait,
it.
what do you not like about it? Which part?
Oh man, let's see Ron and Harry awkwardly not have fun with their dates. Let's see this just be a horrible night for all the people we love. Let's see Hermione
You know
get
what?
her night ruined by Ron and Harry just because they're jerks. Let's see their dates get in a bad mood just because they're being jerks. Let's see this horrible band sing this horrible song.
Oh, the song was fine.
No, it is not.
I'll say one thing, and this is the annoying thing that people who read the book say. But I think if you read the book, it feels better because you have more of the context. Like they really rush through stuff. Of course, that's a thick book.
Mhm.
They gotta rush through stuff. You lose a lot of the feeling and like the inner thoughts and things that are happening. Like when you get all of that, I feel much better about because I do think Harry and Ron's attitudes are frustrating. But it makes a lot more sense to me when I've read the book.
You know the
they're
context, okay.
teenagers, dude. They're like hormonal, like.
And I get that, but I don't come to Harry Potter to see that.
But you like the fifth one. You like the fifth movie, right? They're like even more annoying teenager in the
But they
fifth
do
movie.
it better. They write it better.
They write it more
You- and-
annoying.
And you don't like the fifth book.
I hate the fifth
So
book
you have
with
a
a
bias
passion.
against that. So you
And I hate the fifth movie too. I thought maybe they could make it better because like I went in hoping because New Moon, the Twilight. I don't really like New Moon that much. It's my least favorite Twilight book, but it's one of my favorite Twilight movies. I thought it's one of the only movies where I thought it was better than the book, personally. You guys can hate me for that if you want, but so I was hopeful, but I don't know.
see, I like that Harry starts becoming a teacher in the fifth movie. I like
No,
that,
I love that. For sure.
And they don't really show. You say his character's really annoying in the book.
Oh, but
and-
that's enough
They don't really. That doesn't come across in the movie.
because that's the same thing I'm talking about with the ball. We're getting to hear that inner monologue,
Mhm.
like of what they're feeling and thinking. So I think that helps the ball. I think that hurts the fifth movie because
Okay.
there's so much time spent in the fifth book. Sorry, book I'm in, not movie. To Harry just like inside being like hating everyone and
Mm.
being like really. I mean, I can't blame him for being depressed. I understand the things that happen, but it's hard for me to follow. It's hard for me to connect with this character who just like he seems like he literally hates his friends and everyone. He's really frustrating to me, like as a reader.
Mm.
I think maybe if I hadn't read the book and just watched the movie, maybe I'd like it a lot better. I do love the final like fights in
Yeah, I like the
that movie.
climax.
That movie is
That might be a lot why I like the movie because the
That's
last
awesome.
45 minutes of that movie is awesome.
There are awesome things about it. Like, don't get me wrong, but that book was a slog for me to get through. So
enough.
it hurt the movie for me too.
That's
and then
fair.
I think another thing that hurts that movie is that whoever it is that plays Umbridge is so good as Umbridge, which is a compliment to her, but
Mhm.
I hate Umbridge so much. So
Honestly,
she did
I
a great
think
job.
She's part of
but
the reason I like that movie so much because she's such an awful, awful character.
yeah.
that, like she's one of those characters that is fun to dislike. Like
God,
I have
I
a really good time just because when she finally does get her comeuppance,
Yeah.
it's so. Mwah.
Yeah. I hate her. I think I need to watch it again. My problem with the Harry Potter movies was I watched them immediately after finishing each book. So I had just finished dealing with Umbridge for however long it took me to finish
And
that
now you
book.
gotta go right back to it.
Yeah, and I have to see her in the movie being like this awful person. But I'd love to watch it again and see. Like the sixth book is my favorite, but it's not my favorite movie.
Even Daniel Radcliffe hates the sixth
I don't
movie.
hate it, but it's not my favorite for
It's
sure.
just it's all build up.
Yeah, it
it's
is,
all
but
build
the
up.
book is really great. I really love the book for the
I can
six.
see, my uncle, he used to work at Sam's Club, and he
Mm.
said like he was security, so he just kind of walk around. And he said occasionally he'd pop over to the Harry Potter the book section, pop open the sixth book, read like a page, close it, set it down, and then go back around, and then come back by, grab it, read another page.
And you read the whole thing like that?
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
pretty awesome. That's
That
a
or he
long
just-
book.
That or he just would grab it on his breaks and read
Oh,
it, because I
maybe.
think a lot of stores like at Michael's when we worked there, they would
Mm.
let me grab one of the books and go read it on
I'm
the break room.
sure you could.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be any problem. I'm sure.
But
Um,
so anyway, Avatar. What?
Wait, I want to say one more thing.
Okay,
really
yeah, yeah.
quick. Just because we're on the Harry Potter thing, we're talking about the sixth, and then we'll go to Avatar. I just gotta say, I think one of the reasons I hate the sixth movie, I don't hate it, but one of the reasons I don't like it as much is just because, and I think I talked to you about this, but anyone who I talk to about this, I have to bring it up. I hate what they did to Ginny in the movies.
Yeah, you've told me that.
She literally is one of my favorite characters in the whole series when you read the books.
I've heard she's awesome in the books.
She's freaking awesome. Her personality is incredible. She compliments Harry so well.
and that's disappointing because I love strong female characters that are good characters, not just mean characters.
Yeah, she's awesome. I really like her, and I really love her like journey with Harry in that book.
And those movies, even I'll admit, I could tell you from even not reading the books, I don't like Ginny in the movies.
I don't
She's
either.
so boring.
I mean,
so bland.
and I don't blame the actress. I don't think the actress looks
No.
like what I imagine Ginny to look like, but they have to get them as kids. I can give, you can forgive that. But the way they wrote her in the movies, I just don't get it. It's like, I guess they didn't build her up as much because she's kind of starts getting built up earlier in the books
Mhm.
as being, I mean, she's there in the movies, but not as there as she is in the books. I wonder if maybe they just didn't know she was gonna be as big of a character later.
It has to be a case because when you got in the movie with all these characters and all these kids who even the characters that you would see just pop up in the first movie
Yeah.
and have like one, hey, Neville's got a remember all. That kid who has that one line is in every single one of those movies.
I mean, I think that's what they thought Ginny was gonna be, like a
Mhm.
character who's in every movie, but she's not ever gonna be important.
So they're like, we have to focus on Harry, Ron, and Hermione.
and I get
we have
that.
2 hours. We have to focus on these three for the main cast. We'll focus on other characters like Cedric, or maybe we'll throw in some Ginny and.
And I get that, but Cedric as well. Cedric we see earlier, and we get way more Cedric scenes.
He comes in like book 3, doesn't he?
I can't remember exactly where we first see him, but we at least hear his name earlier than that.
Because he's like 2 grades above Harry,
Yes, I think it's
2
two.
or 3.
Yeah, but yeah, there's just stuff like that. But with Ginny, it makes me mad. I get it, but it's annoying because at the end when they're like together, like sorry, spoilers, but Harry Potter's pretty old at this point. It does not feel right in the movies. I'm like, this doesn't feel earned. This doesn't
Yeah.
feel like they don't feel compatible to
And
me.
I think part of that is maybe in the movies, because J.K. Rowling even, yes, controversies aside,
We're not talking about any of that.
she even said that she originally intended for Harry and Hermione to get together.
I'm glad they didn't do that. It feels
Well,
weird to me.
I don't know. I think if she'd done it right, I think it could. I
It-
would have liked to have seen what that would have been.
Yeah, writing would have had to been different. It would have had to start being built
But
up
she said she
earlier.
felt pressured to make Ron and Hermione end up together, because so
Ah.
many people wanted that to happen. And admittedly, I like that better. I think
I
that's
like it
a
better.
more fitting thing.
And I like Harry with Ginny a lot. I don't know
Mm.
when she decided to start doing that. I feel like we start really getting. I mean, Ginny obviously had a crush on Harry from book 1. But I
They
feel
make
like
it obvious in the movies and movie 2.
yeah, I feel like she started really going into that though, like maybe book 4. Like we started really getting those hints, like maybe something could happen here, but
Because she's a year below Harry,
yeah,
right?
just 1 year below.
So maybe that's makes sense. She'd probably be about 13 at that age. So
Yeah.
just now starting to really be interested in boys.
And she went to the ball with Neville. And yeah,
That's cute though. I
Neville's
like
like when we were watching the movie yesterday, Neville's like, "Me, can you imagine?" And I'm like, Don't be talking to Harry, bro. He's about to like marry your date."
that. Yeah. But do we ever get confirmation if Neville and Luna end up together?
I
don't think they
can't
do.
remember.
I don't think I think they date for a while, but I don't think they end up.
Who does Floor end up with?
Who?
Floor?
Who's Floor?
Oh, never mind. She's from the 4th movie. She's in the Goblet of Fire. She's the girl from the other school.
Oh.
And they go to her wedding in the
Oh, do
7th.
they?
Yeah, that's whose wedding they're at.
Oh, that's one of. Oh, really? Oh, that makes sense. That's why they're the same actress.
Yeah, they just
Um,
got the same actress for a different character.
I mean, they've done that. They did that for Marvel.
Did they?
Yeah, the chick who plays Cersei with the green outfit in Eternals. She's an alien chick in Captain Marvel.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel is a blur to me.
Captain Marvel is not a great movie.
I remember watching it, but like it's seriously a blur.
And that's just not me being a white man who doesn't like Brie Larson. No, she's fine. That movie's just not that good.
I guess I have to agree since I can't remember it.
Me, Nate, and Ariel. So what happened was, me, Nate, and Ariel a few months back, we were, we still need to continue, but a few months back we wanted to go through all the Marvel movies, and we're doing them chronologically, the way you should in any story, even with Star Wars. I'm going there.
Except you just told me, I think before the podcast, that you're not watching Dragon Ball chronologically.
But that I told you
Okay,
why.
I'm just
I have a
saying,
reason.
I'm just
I
saying.
would have. I wish we could have, but I didn't know that was what was gonna happen at the time.
I feel you. I
But
feel you.
we were 3 seasons in.
Uh-huh.
By the time we were like, okay, we probably should have started from the beginning.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Anyway, so we started with Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Great. The first Captain America is such a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went to Captain Marvel. And
Oh, that's chronologically. She's next.
Yep.
Okay.
because Captain America in 1940s and Captain Marvel in the 90s.
Uh-huh.
And then we were all sitting there the whole movie. All of us were passing out.
I think you've told this before. Maybe it was just to me. I don't know if it was on the podcast.
I think it might have been, but yeah, we were passing out. And then we're like, okay, we took a break, went and got lunch, and came back and put in Iron Man immediately right back up.
You definitely told me this.
I mean,
Yeah.
and that, again, that's my wife, too. She was even like, this movie is not fun.
Yeah, I can't remember. I saw it in the theaters in the Philippines, and I think we had a good time because we were just in the theater, like, eating popcorn and stuff. That's
I'm
fun,
sure
but
it's fine. It's not a bad movie. It's just,
I just can't remember it. I remember there's alien people. They were green.
Sam Jackson looked really good young.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
In
they
space.
they explain how he loses his eye, and it's really lame.
Can't remember that.
Yeah, you want me to tell you? The cat scratches his eye out.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh. Thought it was going to be something
And
cool.
then he literally, it's not some big like fight. The cat at the very end is like a throwaway joke, reaches up, scratches his eye, and he's like, oh, that's okay. I'll be fine. The end.
That's it?
Pretty much.
So, with
Avatar.
I was a huge fan of the first one.
We
When
named our band after something from the Avatar.
What?
Last Shadow.
That's from Avatar?
Yeah, that's what they called the big red.
I guess I forgot that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I loved that movie. I was a huge a lot of people were at that time like really loving that movie, but I remember in school telling so many people to watch it. Like, it's so good. I thought it was like one of the best movies I'd
A lot
ever
of people
seen.
came around. I knew a lot of people that in high school that watched it.
Well, in high school there was a big push of like there were some people in our school that were like, it's just The Last Samurai in like aliens, like
Yeah, but
blue
that's-
people.
That's just a story that's just been done to death a billion times.
I mean, that's the thing. I think as you get older, you realize there's just a lot of
There's
stories.
5
of-
stories.
Yeah, like it is The Last Samurai, but it's not.
it's
also-
also Dances with Wolves.
Never seen it, but I'm sure it is.
That's The Last Samurai.
Last Samurai is a good movie. What's wrong with making
Dances
Last
with Wolves
Samurai
is a
have blue
great, yeah.
people?
It's
Yeah.
not a bad plot.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a little overdone, sure, but I mean, what are you gonna do?
Maybe Last Samurai. No. I don't want to get into that. I was
Here-
gonna say maybe it's problematic now, but isn't it based off a real thing
I don't know.
that
This
actually happened?
no ish. That History Channel I listen to, History Buffs. He did Last Samurai,
Mm-hmm.
and he's the only. I was ready for him to just tear into it because I always hear people, it's not historically accurate at all. Tom Cruise.
Uh-huh.
He praised that movie nonstop. He said most of the movie is fictionalized, but like they take events that happened and shove them into the movie, and he compares them. He's like, so what they're doing is really good, but he said the main samurai guy, they build him up as this infallible leader, but he said the guy that they based him on, he goes, yeah, that guy lost every fight he ever was in.
Who Tom Cruise played? Or
No, the main samurai.
Okay.
The guy he was fighting for.
Oh, right.
And I don't think there was a Thomas Cochran, I think was the name of the guy.
Mm.
I could be wrong. There wasn't anything like that actually happened. Tom Cruise's character exists purely just to show an outsider's perspective of samurai culture.
I loved it when I was younger, especially.
Movie.
I haven't seen it in years.
I watched it earlier this year, background noise, and it's every time I turn, I'm like, dang, this is great.
Mm.
Good acting.
But with Avatar, I loved it. I think just a lot of time passed, and I'm just not that. It's not that I don't want to see the new one. It's just that I'm not that excited. I don't know. I've seen a trailer. I did see the first trailer when it came out. Maybe I've seen 2 trailers, but
It's the exact opposite of me and you last time. We were sitting right there in that corner, and you brought up the trailer, and I was like, looks fine. You're like, we're going to
you
see
mean
it
back
tonight.
in the day, like on my
Yeah.
old computer that I
right
used to
there
play
in
like
that corner,
Gaia
right
on?
there.
Yeah, and we had like pink carpet in here.
Mhm.
Yeah,
On your dad's.
this wasn't my room yet.
No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Had your dad's knickknacks all over around here.
Yep.
But you showed me the trailer, and I thought, I mean, it looks okay. I mean, I don't know. And you're like, we're going to see it tonight. And I was like, okay, I guess we're going. So I went and saw it, and it blew all of us away.
Yeah.
Now, I understand it's not the greatest movie of all time. Like
It
we
felt
all,
like it at that moment.
at that time, yes, it sure did, because we'd never seen anything like that.
That was. I feel like that was our Matrix moment
It
for our
was.
generation.
It was. And Matrix, to a certain extent, is kind of that Moses story,
Mm.
which is what Avatar is, that Moses story again. But so yeah, it just blew all of us away. Now, I've had time, I've seen it a bunch of times. I probably put it on once a year as background noise or just to watch it. I love that movie. I do that again. I rewatch movies all the time. But I finally, after years and years of watching it, everyone and hearing people dog on it, no, it's not that great, and yada yada yada, I've came to the conclusion of what I think its major flaw is. It's not the
Okay.
plot. It's definitely not the effects. The effects, I think, hold up incredibly well. I don't care. I'm not a CG hater. I'll point it out when it's bad and when it doesn't look good, but I'm not a CGI hater, just like you.
I'm a CGI hater in anime. but
Yes,
not
in anime,
in-
that's a different story.
Yeah.
Anime, keep that as far away from
Mhm.
anime as possible, unless, it's a CG anime. But anyway,
right.
so the problem with Avatar, it has 2 major issues. It's script
Oh.
and it's directing. James Cameron is a great director, but you can definitely tell his focus was on getting the effects right and not the take.
Mm.
There are so many takes in that movie, or lines in that movie, where I'll be watching, and I do this to myself a lot. I'll say, "Could we get another take on that?"
Oh.
No, we're just gonna go with that one. That's the take we wanted to go for. Sigourney Weaver just phoning in that line. Okay,
Right.
I guess we're just gonna go with that take.
I mean, I don't know. I
So-
have no problem with the movie.
Well,
yeah.
What?
I love it.
You haven't seen it in a minute.
I mean, I still love it.
No,
I
that's
still
what I'm
consider it a
saying.
great movie.
Same, I'm not. Again, I'm just pointing at that's where I found that's the flaw I found is its script and its.
But you were
directing.
looking for a flaw because you hear people say this.
But I wasn't until the last handful of years.
I feel like people just say that. I feel like it doesn't have to have some big flaw. I think anytime something gets big, people are gonna talk crap. Always.
But I really think you should watch it again, and I think you should go see the second one again. I think you owe it to your younger self to see the new one. Not necessarily with me, but maybe with Chris or your mom or something, to go see that new one in the theater, because remember how it felt when we first saw that movie. Again, go back to 2009, December.
First time I tried to see it, they said it was sold out.
Mm. And then we saw it was like a Friday night. It was like the week after it came out. It'd been out for a week, so it'd been a lot of ear to mouth, hype. Oh man, you really should go see it. So we all went and saw it. It was me, you, Chris, maybe Mason at the time.
I can't remember who we were with.
I know it was definitely me and you and Chris.
Mason might have been there.
I think
he
with
was.
us.
Yeah.
And maybe one other person. I can't remember who it
Yeah.
would have been, but maybe one other person. And I'll never forget that feeling. Again, like you said, that was our Star Wars moment. That was
Star
our
Wars,
Matrix moment.
Matrix. Yeah, that was it.
That was that to me. There's movies that come along maybe once every 10 years or so, 15 years, that you think, oh, this changes everything.
But that doesn't make me want to see the second one.
You-
It doesn't mean the second one's gonna change everything.
No, but remember how much we wanted back then to see more of that, and how great it would be to get it, and now we're finally getting that.
But back then, I also wanted them to make like 7 Dragon Ball Evolution sequels.
yeah, but those were bad.
I know.
The
I'm just
first
saying.
Avatar was good.
Was this a good idea?
All I'm saying is I think you owe it to your younger self.
I
go
want to
see
see it, and I know I'm gonna see it eventually, whether it's in theaters or at home. You don't
See,
think I should be watching it at home?
No.
You don't
because
think I
here's
should
why.
watch it on my phone?
Oh God, I'll kill you. Here's why. Nathan does not like Avatar. To this day. Like, you still like Avatar.
Yeah.
I still like Avatar. We saw it in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
So we know exactly.
Why does Nate not like it?
he
That's
didn't see it in
weird.
theaters. He saw it on TV. He watched it at home on his parents' CRT.
CRT.
Hmm
And he's never seen it since?
He watched it one time. He was like, it was okay. I didn't really understand why people liked it so much.
Is that the only time you've seen it?
I think so. I might have watched it one other time since.
Nate, I know you listen to this podcast. Nate,
I could be wrong. It might not have been his CRT. I know he watched it at home, though.
you're going to be getting a text from Nate. Like, bro, you got to correct the record.
So if I am wrong, bud, I apologize. But I think it was. I'm pretty sure he said him and his brother Aaron both watched it on TV.
See,
And
this is the thing. I feel like Nate says he doesn't like it because the hype around it is so high. I feel like when there's a movie like this or anything where people are saying this is one of the greatest of this thing ever made, then you're more critical. Like, I'm not saying that I doubt Nate actually hates it.
no, he doesn't. He
My-
just doesn't think it's that.
That's
that
what I mean.
great.
He probably I would imagine he'd probably say, yeah, it's a good movie. It's all right. But because it has all that hype, it makes you feel like you want to resist it and say, like, no, it's not good.
Mm.
Like, no, I don't like that movie.
And
Just
that's-
because of that.
Oh, and that's the other thing. Why I think you should see it in theaters at least is because you need to. Maybe I don't know for the full crowd, but you need to.
Oh, no. I'm going on a Tuesday afternoon
Mm.
for sure.
You need to see. You need to experience it the way it's meant to be seen. It's not meant to be seen on this or your phone or your screen over there. It's meant to be seen. Even the directors. You know what he said?
No.
First off, I found out the movie is 3 hours long, and I don't like that.
Is there
I
an
actually-
intermission?
He said, "Go to the bathroom. You'll want to see it again," is what he said.
F you,
That-
bro. Add in an intermission. There are movies that have intermissions nowadays.
There used to be all the time. It used to be commonplace. Now I think they try to do it to avoid it to keep people from
Who's the director?
James Cameron.
Oh, so
same
it's him again.
Yeah.
Okay.
guy. Yeah,
And he said that? He
Yeah.
sounds like a boomer.
he's been pretty vocal with his opinions on movies lately. I don't
That's
know.
annoying, dude. Oh my god. This makes me miss the Philippines. I think I told you this, right? That at least one of the theaters I went to in the Philippines, I think I've seen it at least 2 or 3 times, but for sure one of them, the one I went to the most, they had the restrooms in each theater,
Oh,
each
that's
individual
nice.
one, and you go back and the audio is still playing.
Yeah,
so
that's
even though you
definitely
can't
nice.
see it, you can at least still hear, like if it's just a talking moment. You miss nothing.
Mhm.
I don't know why we don't do that.
I think it's probably a sanitary thing, and because
What?
you go in the bathroom and then the light shines out to the movie.
No. It's like It's the way where it's like open, but it's like snakes around. So the
Oh.
light comes on as you're snaking in, like it gets more and more.
Oh,
So you
okay.
you don't see anything. I don't know what sanitary issue it would be.
Well, a lot of people not coming in, tracking in poopy from.
Poop?
Yeah.
When does that happen?
We're in
I mean,
America.
you could track in poop from the theater down in the hallway as well.
Well, what if someone poops and then the poopy comes into the theater? The smell.
I feel like you.
I'm not naysaying. I'm saying like this is where mindsets might be.
Okay, but then why does I just don't get why the bathroom has to be so far away
That I
in
can
the
agree with.
U.S. Like when I gotta go to the bathroom, it's one thing if I just go out of the theater and it's right there, but half the time I go out and it's like I gotta run down the freaking hallway to
The
find this
women's will
bathroom.
be right there.
Yeah, but mine will be on the whole other side, and
It's
it is
not even. It's in Walmart.
the one I normally go to. The men's and women's is separated on separate sides, so depending on the luck of which theater you get.
Sorry.
Oh, Maggie.
Yeah. Like
Oh, I read it. It's good. I really like the manga.
You finished it?
Not all of it. I'm like halfway through.
I want to.
Yeah.
I want to. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, I'm sure I'll see it eventually, but I do want to move on to our main topic
Yes.
for today because
This
I actually have a
probably-
lot of other stuff I need to do today.
Okay, that's fine.
But
Same.
um,
So we're talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Which one did you get?
woo, Scarlet.
Same.
Really?
I wanted Violet, but my wife. I wanted Violet. My wife wanted Scarlet, so we compromised and got Scarlet.
Oh, you only got one.
Yeah.
You're sharing it.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense financially. I was I
Oh.
was gonna do that because she wanted Brilliant. She wanted Shining Pearl. I wanted Brilliant Diamond, and we were just gonna get, both. But I had gotten to the point where I was tired of. I couldn't afford to get it at the time, and I started waiting, and I wanted to play. So I broke
Mm.
down and just started playing Shining Pearl. No Dialga for me.
Yeah, but Palkia is better,
No,
so it doesn't
no,
matter.
it's not. Dialga's way cooler.
No.
Dialga is way. Put it in the comments. Dialga is way cooler.
Dialga is just a big dog thing.
Yes, he's awesome.
Palkia, what is Palkia even? I don't know. That abstract. Look,
I mean, he's kind of
right
like.
there. That's Gen 4. Holy crap. What are the chances of that?
Oh, they knew.
uh,
Oh,
yeah, I don't actually agree that Palkia is better. Dialga has a cooler design.
he
for
does,
sure.
dude.
But the best is Arceus, which you can't even get in that freaking game unless you have. Did you know that? You have to beat Legends Arceus to be able to catch Arceus and Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond.
Oh, that's
so
gonna make Ariel
annoying.
it's gonna make my wife so mad.
Well, Arceus is supposed to be a good game. I haven't played it, but that's the one game, like Pokemon game, I haven't played.
There's no that game I've heard is great, but it sounds tedious to me.
I really don't know. I want to play it. It got great reviews. I want to
It
try.
just sounds tedious.
So, what do you think of Scarlet?
I love it.
I have a lot of opinions.
I I honestly don't have. Yes, the graphical and technical issues are there.
Oh, you
but it's not-
experienced it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you
Um,
do immediately, almost.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I
It's-
don't think immediately. I thought it seemed fantastic when you start the game, you're just in your house, like always. Every Pokemon game, you start in your room. Inside buildings, it looks incredible. I've loved it till
Once
I
you
went
get-
outside.
As soon as you get outside.
As soon as I went outside, I was like, it's like
Ooh.
taking on YouTube and taking the quality from 1080p down to like 360p. I was like,
Maybe 480 if you want to be
maybe
nice.
maybe 480, but
You know what? When I first started playing it, you know what the first thing I said was when I got outside?
what?
I said, "The hell are these Wii graphics doing on this?"
It is literally Wii graphics.
It's It's not. I wouldn't go. You said PS2 in your one post.
Dude, I kind of feel like Kingdom Hearts
It
Kingdom
has
Hearts 2,
moments.
Jack 2,
It
they
has
look better
moments.
than this game.
Frame rate wise, yes.
I think textures even look better.
To me, it felt like a Wii game. It feels like a
I mean,
Wii
Wii
game.
games basically felt like PS2 games. They were like a
Yeah.
generation
I
behind. Oop,
suppose.
my
Oh,
bad.
Don't do that. But as far as that goes, I'm loving the open world. I
How
think
far are you?
I am about to do my third gym.
You are further than me.
Mhm.
I have done one gym, one team star base, and one
Okay, yeah,
ingredient.
I've done one Team Star, and I keep forgetting that those are technically things.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do in this game.
And I'm okay with that. I like that. So I take it you don't like it very much.
No. I love it.
Okay.
But I'm really split. Because there's things I love and there's things I hate. So the things I hate, there's some obvious things like what you mentioned already. Graphically, it looks like garbage. I mean, it just looks bad. There's no way to not think. I texted Nate and I said, I think this is the ugliest game I've ever played. Like, I mean, really, for what it's supposed to be, like, uh, I can't think of an uglier game.
I've seen uglier games. I get where you're coming from.
I don't think I've played an uglier
it's
game.
the ugliest Pokemon.
It's the ugliest game I've ever seen by Nintendo. That's for sure. What's uglier?
Twilight Princess.
I don't think so.
Look at those character models.
I think, but it was literally GameCube. It was a GameCube Wii game. Like, what were they supposed to do? Like, I don't know, man.
I see where you're coming from. I'm not gonna say it's ugly by any means. I see what they're going for.
I'll agree that Twilight Princess has an ugly color palette, definitely.
And ugly character designs. The dude literally looks. He's got a head that's this big and his face is this big.
I feel like they look better than they do in Scarlet.
They look like people in Scarlet. The problem with
Yeah.
Scarlet is we went from a really awesome in the last gen and with the 3DS and even up to Sword and Shield, awesome art design with Pokemon games.
Yeah.
And this game, I was telling Aaron, I said if they would have just kept the graphics to Sword and Shield graphics, because those graphics in that game,
But
I
they
will say,
couldn't
I know,
because of what it's too ambitious and they don't have the time.
I know, but I feel like they're trying to make it too realistic.
I don't think that's what it was. I really think the reason that the graphics changed is because it's a very ambitious, like open world. What they're doing is cool. I like the direction, but I feel like they just didn't have time to be able to make it look like how they probably
It needed
wanted.
maybe another year.
At least. I really feel like it needed at least another year.
When we were first shown the trailer back in February, whenever it was, and back then you and I talked about it, and we both talked.
I watched the first trailer only. Yeah.
We were both like, "This clearly isn't finished," but they never are when they first show the first trailer.
That's the thing. It always gets better. This one didn't get better.
It looks, yeah. So to me, I'm thinking like, to me, it's clear they spent all their time on the gameplay.
Yeah.
Which to me, I'd rather that if they're gonna spend time on gameplay or graphics, I'd rather the gameplay be there and then.
I agree. I just don't think they should have to do this schedule. I think Pokemon isn't the game that it used to be. Like, Pokemon is now onto Nintendo's main console. You can't have this. They try to put out a Pokemon game every year. Remember, we just had Arceus come out this year. And now we're already having
So we've had 2 this year.
2 Pokemon games this year.
2 last year with Pokemon Snap and Pokemon.
Neither of those were developed by Game Freak.
Oh, really?
So they had that year off, but that was to do 2 like big, much more ambitious games than they've ever done before. And I don't know. I think they'd need more time.
I think they'll definitely learn because say what you want about Sword and Shield, it ran.
Look, I love Sword and Shield. I know that gets a lot of hate, and I don't think
I
it's
love
the
it.
best Pokemon game ever. I have some issues with it. But when I played Sword for the first time, I could not stop. I played that game all the way through. Like, I would go to work thinking about that game, just want to come home and keep playing. I really loved it. I've only played it that once. I haven't done it again, but I thought it was fantastic. There were problems, but it was fantastic.
Oh yeah, I never played the DLC. Did you?
No,
Sorry.
I want to, but I should at this point. It might be technically better than Scarlet.
Technically,
My other big problem with Scarlet, other than the technical issues, which will hopefully be fixed, is I don't like what they did with the interiors. There are like no interiors anymore. Every gym's interior is the same.
Oh yeah.
You go in and then you go outside and do something and then come back to a cut and paste exactly the same. They have a couple of little like shops. Sometimes the shop you can explore inside. Sometimes you just go in and then there's a menu that comes up. In old Pokemon games, even there's no Pokemon Center, Pokemart. There's no inside. You can't go in anyone's houses. The first town I got to, I was so disappointed when I walked up to my first door and it wouldn't open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that earlier. I was playing yesterday, and I was like, let's go in this house, see if we might get a cool item or something. Nope.
That is JRPGs to me, not just Pokemon. Like the fact that I can go in someone's house and steal their stuff.
Do a nice beanie.
It's literally important. And playing this game, I don't know if you played, I can't remember if you played this other game I'm gonna reference. I feel like they tried really hard to make this the Pokemon version of Dragon Quest XI.
Played a little bit of it.
It feels so much like Dragon Quest XI running around. Other than in Dragon Quest XI, they do not have these technical issues. You can go in everyone's house. You can, like, all the things that I want out of this, you can do in Dragon Quest XI. Other than you just can't, it's not Pokemon. You just can't catch the Pokemon.
They probably were heavily inspired. Well, how do we do open world Pokemon? Well, let's try doing it similar to Dragon Quest.
And Dragon Quest is massive in Japan. So, I mean, yeah. It
You can
feels like
see
the right
what
direction.
they're going for. It is absolutely the right direction. I hope they aren't turned away from doing this. I really
Well,
want the next game.
It's the right direction in some ways. I still have issues with no real rival. I think it's
Oh yeah, I keep jumping back and forth between like your buddy,
yeah.
like because I'm like on one hand I'm like, man, she's really cool and I like her.
Yeah.
But on the other hand I'm like, she's better than Hop and How.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
She's way better than Hop and How.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's been a rival issue since Gen 6. Gen 5 was the last time we had a good rival.
Gen 6 was you didn't have one rival. It was like you and your whole group of friends
Yeah,
competing with each
It's
other.
no longer rivals, it's your friends.
Yeah.
You remember Gen 2 when your rival was a literal criminal?
Dude, I'm playing through Heart Gold at the same time.
Yeah.
As I'm playing this, and dude just walks up and insulted me and then walked away.
Yeah.
And
It's
I was
like,
like, who is this jerk?
I love it. He literally broke into Professor Elm's lab and stole Pokemon.
Yeah,
It's like he's a bad guy.
but you learn why. He's you know why, right? You know who he is.
For sure I do if you say it, but I
He's
forget at this
Giovanni's
moment.
son.
What?
Yeah.
They say that in the game?
I don't know if it's in that game, but I've listened to a lot of
I
Pokemon
didn't know
Lore
that.
stuff, and I'm pretty sure might not be him, but I'm pretty sure that particular kid is Giovanni's son, and that's why he's such a jerk.
I'm gonna have to fact check that. I'm not sure. I've never heard that.
Now I might be wrong.
Let us know in the
I
comments.
know you
guys.
do in one of the games meet Giovanni's son. I'm pretty sure it's that kid.
And I talk a lot about Gen 5. I give Gen 5 a lot of praise, but I think that game did it right. You had friends in Gen 5, like you do in Gen 6 and onward, and you also had in the rival, who's like a legitimate threat and like a legitimate rival. There's a scene. I'm sorry, spoilers. I'll put spoilers on for Gen 5 Pokemon if somehow you've never played it. There's a scene in Gen 5 where you're in, anyone who's played it is going to know what I'm talking about. You're in a Ferris wheel, and he reveals himself, like who he truly is. I don't think you've played Gen 5, right? So I don't want to really spoil it, but you think he's one thing, and then he reveals who he actually is there. It's like one of the most incredible scenes I've ever seen in Pokemon, and that comes from your rival, and we just don't get stuff like that anymore. So, I don't know. It's frustrating. And I also don't like that sorry to interrupt you, but on that same idea, I also don't like that the Team Star is lame.
It's better than Team Yell.
All the teams are lame nowadays. I really feel like.
I will take Team Star over Team Yell or Team Skull any day.
Team Skull is lame. They're all lame, dude. Team Star is just like a school bullies.
Yeah, but I feel like it's trying. See, Team Skull is cool because they're all people who failed their Pokemon trials on Alola. So that's kind of cool, but they all dress around and walk like this because that's how people walk. So I get it. Team Yell is just a bunch of idiots. They have no real purpose for anything. I mean, what? Like you're saying, they all suck now. What happened to like Team Aqua and Team Magma?
That was so cool.
They're the best. Gen 3 is the best. Just my opinion.
I think Gen 5's better with the team. I don't know though. I do love Aqua and Magma.
So, but I mean, I told Ariel, my wife, I said, listen, you got Team Rocket.
Mhm.
Then you had Team Rocket. But then you had Team Aqua and Team Magma.
Mhm.
And then it was Team what's for
Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gen 5 it was
Plasma.
Plasma. 6 was
Flare.
Flare. Again, all really awesome, cool names.
Flare had cool stuff going on too. There were doing some interesting things. Yeah.
And then they get to Team Skull. Okay, well, sounds intimidating. None of them are, though.
Yeah.
And then they get to Team Yell.
But I feel like I can respect Team Yell
Why?
because they're fans of what's her name? Starts with an M.
I know, yeah, they were all. That's the thing.
And she's like the coolest character in the whole game.
That's the only thing, though, is she's cool.
Yeah.
She's really cool, but her posse surrounding her is terrible.
Yeah. It was dumb. It was dumb.
At
but
least with Team Star, I get this like imposing. I get Team Yell. There was no imposing threat. It was just you go up
for sure.
beat up a fat guy, and then run away.
Yeah. I feel like a bad person.
Yeah,
I'm like, he's just a fanboy.
I mean, this Team Star, at least I feel like they're trying.
And I loved the gyms in Sword and Shield so much more. It was so much cooler. The huge stadium.
Yes,
That was awesome. And
I
it's
think
still
a lot of people dislike that, so they're trying to make it a little more.
What? Who disliked
I
that?
don't know. I think anybody.
It was so cool.
Because it was a thing with Pokemon that existed. So the problem is Pokemon will have a really cool idea.
Yes.
Mega Evolution.
Yes.
Mega Evolution should have been permanent.
Yes.
And have you heard the reasoning why he
No.
didn't make it permanent? It's so stupid. Because he said, I thought about making it permanent, but then I thought, oh, I might miss the real Charizard if he evolves, so maybe we'll just make it not permanent. But that's what evolution is!
Mm-hmm.
I might miss Charmeleon.
You could press B to not evolve.
Or give him an Everstone.
Yeah. There were already options around that.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't want him to evolve and stay regular Charizard, give him an Everstone. Press B. There's ways around that. I would have much rather had an awesome black Charizard or the Charizard with the third horn growing out of his head. That's so cool. Z moves.
Yep, that's gone now.
It's totally gone. Those were cool.
Gigantamax.
Gigantamax, I was iffy on that.
But it's gone.
No more of that. Now we're on to Terastallization.
The dumbest name of all of them, first of all.
I don't think I'm saying it right.
I don't know how to say it. I sat there and tried to say it multiple times and was like, that's another thing.
Terastallize.
Pokemon should have voice acting now.
Yes.
It feels weird. At this point in 2022, playing this game, I was like, Zelda has voice acting.
Mhm.
This should have voice acting.
Not even Pokemon Snap has voice acting.
Yeah.
I mean, again, not Game Freak, but still, like, what is it with this mentality in... I mean, I guess so they don't have to, because they'd have to do a Japanese version and a English version.
This is the biggest...
And all these different languages.
It's the biggest, media franchise in the world? Not
ever.
just... Yeah, of
It's
ever.
bigger than Mickey Mouse. It's bigger than
You can afford
Mario.
voice actors. Like, come on. It's crazy.
Uh-huh.
That's one of the things that hurt me. Yeah, when I was like, something feels weird, and I realized
That when you're not... when they're done talking, you'll have the word box up, but they'll still be sitting there going...
Yeah. There's a charm to... I feel like if you're going to do that, you got to do it Banjo-Kazooie style. To where they're... Yeah. But there's a kind of a charm to that.
Yeah.
But it's just weird in 2022. Like, everything has voice acting. Literally every game now has voice acting.
I mean, even if it was just like Persona style, like you hear them say like, what? Or
Yeah.
occasionally.
That's a lot better. But Persona still has voice acting in the main cutscenes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's what I feel like it should be. Main cutscenes, voice acting. Side stuff, yeah, just have them do a little reaction sound.
I think, and to the point, it's on a TV now. It's not your handheld.
Yeah.
A lot of people are playing on this thing. You know what you want coming out of that thing? Sound.
I mostly play Scarlet on handheld.
Right.
Because, no, I want to play it on the TV. It's just when I put it on the TV, it looks so much worse.
I haven't played it on the handheld mode yet.
Oh, you haven't?
Uh-uh.
It feels better. Because I guess
like it
it's
on the TV.
720p, so my problem isn't that it looks like mush. That does suck. It's the frame rate. The frame rate does get me.
My problem is my Joy-Con is experiencing drift. And
Me too. I'm using Chris's Joy-Con.
Man,
I
you
have-
the same one.
I have two that are drifting.
Same.
Yep. So
And I gotta send him into Nintendo, get that free game.
they give you a free game?
They gave my friend Ray a free game. He got a free copy of Luigi's Mansion 3.
That is a fantastic game. Have
I
you
haven't
played?
it? No. I
You are the
know.
biggest Luigi fan
know.
that I know, and you haven't played Luigi's Mansion 3.
The thing is,
One of the best games on the Switch, by the way.
I've played Dark Moon and the other one, and I have a hard time with puzzle games.
3 is better than both of those.
I want
first
to
of
play
all.
it, trust me, and I'm going to. I just haven't found the time to commit.
I think Luigi's Mansion 3 is my top 5 Switch games.
Yeah, I've
It's,
heard it's good.
so good, dude. I should play it
How is
again.
Gooigi? That looked like it was annoying.
I don't really. Is that something you have to deal with? I only did single player. He's
Oh.
like a multiplayer.
Oh, he's
I
only
think.
on multiplayer.
I can't remember now. I just remember the design. It's like, okay, Luigi's Mansion 3 is just so detailed. The design is so good. There were moments when I was playing that game that I stopped and was like, this is beautiful. Like, how did they make such a beautiful thing in a Luigi game?
Mhm.
And then you get Pokemon. And I know, but Nintendo didn't make either of those.
Why couldn't? That's something to think about. We got Breath of the Wild, and
Yeah.
it works amazing.
That's
Why
the
didn't
problem.
we have Pokemon? Why didn't they just try to do that kind of like graphical
That's the
style?
problem.
That's
Well,
what I mean when I say do Sword and Shield style graphics. Why?
Mhm.
Why try to create this huge realistic type place when it already Sword and Shield's graphics in that open area looked fantastic?
I mean, I don't agree that they were going for realistic. To me, it still feels closer to Breath of the Wild.
I
It
meant
doesn't
with,
feel
like-
real like
I
they
meant
tried
with the
realism.
textures. Like a lot of those textures seem like they're trying to.
Are
be,
they?
To me, they are.
I think the problem was just time. I think they're really not given enough time.
Hmm.
I think that's the whole thing. And also, I don't understand why Monolith Soft was not helping them. Monolith Soft makes Xenoblade,
Okay.
and they had them help on Breath of the Wild because they're really good at making these really, really big worlds that can play well, perform well.
Probably because they wanted to prove and see if they could do it in house.
Well, no, it's not. They didn't give it to Monolith Soft. Like, the people who made Breath of the Wild was still, what's his name? Alnuma
Yeah.
was like producing, and like it's still the in-house Nintendo team, but they had people from Monolith Soft come and like advise and like help them with things, like to figure stuff out. But they didn't do that with this Pokemon game for some reason. And I think the most frustrating thing about all of this is that it's the fastest selling game in Nintendo's history ever. 10 million in 3 days.
But Nintendo has also addressed that they're not pleased with its quality either.
Yeah, they said something. Let's see if anything actually happens.
They put out a patch.
The patch changed nothing.
Oh.
The patch
haven't
just
ha-
it
haven't
added
played
in
it.
like some multiplayer stuff. It like added things. It didn't fix a single problem.
Well, then we can at least hope to imagine that the reason they haven't done it yet is because they're still working on it.
For sure. I mean, that's the thing.
I think it'll get patched. It'll be like a No Man's Sky.
I just want
situation.
them to fix the frame rate, and I want them to fix the glitches. Now, how it looks, it's fine. It can look how it looks. Like, I think it's ugly. It can continue to look that way, and it's still fun to play. But the glitches are an issue for me. I've had glitches.
I haven't had too many.
I realized that there was a glitch happening that I didn't even know was happening, where like something can happen with the light. Like sometimes I'll be walking and then suddenly it like the light flashes a little and then things are weirdly dark. It's like
Yeah, the shadow, like you'll be in the middle of a fight and then
it'll just like
suddenly
turn
a
off or
shadow
something.
will just be over you, like
Yes.
like yeah.
And it looks really ugly. And I found out that that's a glitch when I was watching stuff online about it. If you just restart it, it fixes it. That's this kind of stuff I want fixed.
See, yeah, because even I was fighting a Hippodon
Mm-hmm.
earlier, and I was like, cool. Oh, it's all real dark because it didn't look yellow like they are.
Mm.
I thought it was. Oh, is this like a shiny? And I looked up what a shiny was, and the shiny looks almost no different.
Oh.
And oh no, it's just the lighting. Because it looked like blue,
Oh.
like in the lighting that I was in.
Yeah, it's weird. There were times when I was just walking and then suddenly it, like something happened and then like everything's weird and dark and like the textures looked even worse than normal, especially on the trees. The trees in that game are bad. But and people walking. Like when you're in the city and you see people in the distance.
Dude,
Oh
that
my
is bad.
god. Even
I-
in the classroom, they're just sitting
Mm.
at the desk moving their legs and it's like 1 frame a second.
Oh,
Yeah. And the first town I went to, there was a guy, he was like walking, and when I got close to him, he's still walking, but he's just not moving. He's just there, like walking in place. I'm like, that can't be right.
I've seen that where you see a person just.
Yeah. Actually, my first glitch, I didn't realize it was a glitch until, I messed around with it. Was like, I saw a Pokeball floating, and I'm still early in the game, like 2 hours into playing. So I didn't know what could happen. There was just this Pokeball floating around. So I approached it, and I'm like, am I about to have like some kind of secret thing happen? And then suddenly a trainer popped in and was like, they literally said, I'll show you a secret after this battle. And I was like, I still didn't know it was a glitch. I was like, oh, they're going to say like there's like, you can be invisible or something. Because there were some Pokemon I was trying to approach and I was having a hard time. So I thought maybe there's a way you can turn invisible for a minute and approach them. And then after they were just like, you can give your Pokemon nicknames or something stupid. And I'm like, oh, it was a glitch.
I know more than you.
Yeah. I also wish you could skip a lot of stuff. I don't know why Nintendo or Game Freak still 9 generations in doesn't give you an option to skip learning things that we've done.
And then every time you visit the Pokemon Center, they're like, "Here's a thing that I'll tell you."
You can
about
turn
things.
the tips off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I don't like they're like, "Oh, or did you already know that?"
Yeah.
Every time, or did you already know that?
They're snarky. Mm.
It's really annoying. Who was your starter? Who'd you pick?
You know who I picked.
You got the water?
Quaxley.
Yeah. How far have you gotten him evolved?
Second, I'm not to his third stage yet.
Have you seen the third stage?
No, I haven't seen anything.
I feel bad for Ariel. You know me, I spoiled I picked Fuecoco because his third form is awesome.
Yeah, I know
think
Nate
it's
picked
awesome.
him too.
His third form is Fire Ghost.
Spoilers, dude. I literally haven't seen any of them.
Well, you're not getting Fuecoco.
Yeah, but my rival has him,
Oh, wow.
so I'll see it. Well, okay, it's okay.
But
That's cool though.
Ariel, my wife, got the cat, and she was trying to do what you did. She didn't want to see anything for it, and I put on a video last night, not realizing that she was watching, and it showed Meowscarada. That's that one's name, and yeah, she wasn't happy.
Is it cool?
Yeah, it's really cool.
I feel like Quaxley's final form is gonna be really stupid.
I don't like it.
I mean, Nate told me when I was talking to him, he said he didn't hate any of them.
I don't hate it. I prefer the other two.
I mean, we need to see. All I know is Quaxley's second form I thought was definitely a downgrade. His first, I love his first. I mean, it didn't matter who it was. I pick water every time. It does not matter to me. I don't even think. I close my eyes and see nothing. I'm picking water. It's my tradition. The first time I play it, at least. When I play again, I'll pick somebody else. But always first run is gonna be water. So if it becomes stupid, it doesn't matter. I was gonna pick water either way. But yeah, I still liked him the most though. I thought he was really cute. Though I liked all of them. I thought they were all cute. But as soon as he evolved, I was like, let's box him for a little while. I'll bring him back out later.
I never box my starter.
He's water fighting? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care for fighting types. But I need one on my team, so.
And the grass one is Grass Dark.
Why fighting? I feel like this is because people.
They can't go any gen without having a fighting in starter anymore.
With 7th gen, people were talking about that they should have done. I heard a lot of talk online that they should have done like Dark Ghost fighting for the starters, like just straight, no fire, water, grass. So maybe this is kind of a shout out to that.
Could be.
But I think they should have just committed.
I would prefer it to. I know you disagree, but I would prefer it to stick with the fire, water, grass. That's just me. Personally, just because I'm a stickler for that kind of tradition. And I think in any one of those, any grass, fire, water, any one of those really can learn just about any other kind of move, depending on what it is. Like, fire can be very versatile, water, and as you go, you get stuff to help. I completely lost what my point was. I'll be 100% honest.
Okay, well, I do have other stuff I want to do today, so I feel like we should wrap it up. But there's one more thing I want to say about Pokemon.
All right.
Just one last thing.
Go for it.
I think the best looking art style wise Pokemon game on Switch is Let's Go. I'm not saying it's the best Pokemon on Switch. That's arguable. It's debatable. But I think it has the best style. it is
I could probably agree with
beautiful to look at for like that top-down version Pokemon. And I feel sad because I feel like unless we're gonna get something announced, maybe at the Game Awards, probably not, but or next year sometime of a like that style Pokemon, I feel like we're losing the top-down style
that. There's no
Pokemons.
way they make when they inevitably remake Unova, because it
Mhm.
will happen. I don't think a lot of people, because Shining, the last one remake,
Shining Pearl,
yeah, it was
Brilliant Diamond.
divisive because a lot of people were really all for that. Like, okay, we're staying within that top-down world. It's still
That's
kind of
what I
3D.
wanted. Yeah.
But there were also people like myself who I really like the Omega Ruby approach. Myself, in the
That's still
remake.
top down though.
Yeah, I guess, but I prefer.
Oh, you mean they weren't chibi?
Yeah,
Yeah, their problem was they were chibi.
yeah. A lot of people, and I think, other than polish, I think the because everything when you're in that top down form in Shining Pearl is also has been put back down to that chibi form.
Yeah.
And I like that in like Omega Ruby and Sword and Shield, it's not chibi.
Yeah.
I like it's not top down in Sword and Shield, but
The chibi approach was questionable. I still love Shining Pearl. I played like 60 hours on that.
I like it a lot too. I need to finish it. I just got wrapped up in other things.
It's still Pearl. That's the thing. That's Gen 4 is a great
Mhm.
generation. But yeah, I'm not attached to the chibi art style. And I hope if they do remake Unova, I say if because I don't know. Like I feel like Diamond and Pearl, there were a lot of. Did it sell well? I feel like it didn't sell as well as the
I think
other
it sold
ones.
pretty well.
I hope so, because I don't want them to stop there. My favorite is Gen 5, so I'm gonna be pretty sad if they never remake it. But if they do, I really do hope they don't do that chibi style because Gen 5 is dark. It's like the darkest generation, so don't
And I
give me a
didn't know
light.
this about Gen 5, but it has cutscenes, like actual cutscenes.
Yeah, there's a
where
real.
they'll cut back from the chibi to like 3D graphics.
You know what the perfect game to have voice acting for is? Let's debut voice acting in a Gen 5 remake.
that might be a good way to test the waters
They should.
on that.
They should. It's a perfect. It's the most story heavy Pokemon game, which I think is why it didn't sell as well.
Mhm.
But it's the perfect one to put voice acting in. But yeah, I'm afraid that we're losing the top down. It doesn't have to be chibi. Let's Go was not chibi. Let's Go was more in line with Omega Ruby.
Yeah.
Now there were other changes, obviously, with like catching Pokemon and things like that. I'm not arguing. I kind of liked that just for one game. I don't really want it to be that going forward. But I'm not arguing whether that's good or not. But the art style in that game I thought was awesome. When I first played it, I was like, if this is what Switch Pokemon's gonna look like, this is a great direction.
Mhm.
And then Sword and Shield, I don't think it looks as good as Let's Go, but I still think it looks good.
Mhm.
And then
Its polish is a lot better than
yes,
Scarlet.
Scarlet is just like a piece of poop. I don't know.
Scarlet, what I've noticed is it's I think the reason I give Sword so much praise is because Sword is very colorful.
It is so
Scarlet
colorful.
is not very colorful.
This
it's,
is a-
it's there.
That's the problem I have with Breath of the Wild. People love Breath of the Wild, and I love Breath of the
You don't think
Wild.
it's colorful?
Breath of the Wild is really washed out. It's like they took the contrast and just turned it all down. If you look at that game, there is so much. It feels like there's fog on everything.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, when you're close to something, it feels better. But if there's something just a little bit far away, it's foggy. And you can see, like, when people emulate it, there's hacks to change, like, take out that fog and make the contrast better. And the game looks so much better with that. I don't know why they did that.
Probably just an afterthought that they didn't think of.
I'm really hoping that Breath of the Wild 2, and from the trailers so far, it looks more colorful. The contrast looks a lot better.
There's no way this game lives. Oh, excuse me. There's no way Breath of the Wild 2 lives up to the hype. I don't know if it can.
I'm hyped for it either way.
I'm hyped, but I don't know if it'll live up to it.
That's going to be Switch 2. I would almost bet money.
It'll be on this Switch. Well, what's
It will be
funny-
on this Switch, but it'll debut with Switch 2.
It's so funny that Nintendo. Well, the last time, the lead up to the Switch, we all knew something was coming.
Yeah.
This
The
time,
NX.
we all know, yeah, the NX. We all know something is coming. But whereas with the NX, Nintendo was kind of forthright, being like, "Yeah, we're working on something.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but there's something we're working on." This time, anytime even anything's brought up, they're like, "No, we're not doing anything. What are you talking about?"
What if they're not though? The Switch is such a high selling
I don't
console.
think they are,
The
honestly.
install base is huge.
I think it will get an upgrade. They're not going to be able to go back to just a regular console after
They
this.
better not.
They
If they
can't.
try, they are fools.
They can't. It can't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to have to be Switch or some variation of it from now
The
on.
thing is, I hope that Nintendo realizes they need to compete with the Steam Deck now.
Yep.
The Steam Deck is not nearly as big as the Switch. It doesn't have nearly the
I've-
install base, but it is gonna.
I've heard people that have it, they're like, yeah, the battery life isn't there, but when it's playing, dude.
That's the thing. I don't think the Steam Deck is a Switch killer yet. But the Steam Deck 2, the Steam Deck 3, Valve acts like they're not giving this up.
But you got to consider we got a few years before we get a Steam Deck 2.
But I hope Nintendo is thinking about
Mm.
this because I feel like Nintendo's the one company in gaming who would be like, Steam, what? Like, we're just doing our own thing.
That's because
they're gonna-
It's because they're doing fine in Japan is the problem.
For now,
They're doing
Steam Deck only recently released in Japan.
Oh.
Like, yeah, for now. Let's see what happens moving forward.
So that's what I'm saying. For now, like that's their thought. They're like, domestic market, whatever. And I think they got a Mario movie coming out.
Oh, there's a new Mario trailer.
Have you
We should
watched
talk
it?
about that next time. I want to jump off here. I don't want to get into a whole other topic, but I did see it.
Chris Pratt still sounds like crap. That's all.
Yeah,
I'll
I
say.
guess all I'll say is I stopped halfway because I'm excited for it.
Mhm. It
I
looks
think
good.
he sounds like crap, but I'm excited for the movie. And
Mhm.
when I saw Yoshi, I was like, spoilers. I'm not gonna watch any more of this because I know I'm gonna watch the movie.
Mhm.
I want to be surprised.
Oh yeah, I'm
So.
absolutely excited.
Oh, and Charlie Day is Luigi.
Real quick, we did have 2 celebrity deaths, nerdy deaths. I did want to mention Jason David Frank, Green Ranger,
Mm-hmm.
my favorite Ranger. Very sad, brought a tear to my eye.
Everybody's favorite.
Hmm
Should be.
Greatest Power Ranger that has ever and will ever lived. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
And the Batman died. Kevin Conroy. He's
What? I didn't know that.
Yep, the voice of just about every Batman you've ever heard. That's awesome. He passed away about a week before Jason David Frank.
Oh, I don't know why I didn't hear that anywhere.
Yeah. So anyway, rest in peace to 2 childhood heroes.
Rest in
and
peace.
With that, I hope you all have a great and awesome week. I'm sure we'll have at least one more episode before Christmas.
I think so.
At least maybe 2. We'll see.
Let's see what happens.
How that hurt. But we'll have at least one. Maybe we'll have a holiday themed episode. Maybe we can try and drink some eggnog or something. Play a game. We'll figure it out.
Let's see.
But until then, I hope everybody has a great week, great time, and stay nerdy.